morning, degenerates. Welcome to the UFC 295 Sharp Action Report. We are powered here by Pub Sports Radio, but we are joined by none other than my guy, Andrew, from across the counter at Superbook Sports. If it's your first time checking out the show, he's going to give us a little peek into these awesome fights we've got coming up. Let us know where the sharp and the public action is. We're going to present you with that information, and you guys can use that to make however you want your plays next week. Fade the public, tail the sharps, whatever you want to do. It's info, and we are pleased to have Andrew back on the show. My guy, how you been?
Man, I've been awesome. Really looking forward to this card. Kind of happy that, obviously we all wanted to see Jones, but I think this is like a really exciting replacement fight, so I'm really looking forward to that one. I let you know I was going to Pittsburgh tomorrow to watch my Steelers play, so I'm looking forward to that too. So, yeah, things are looking up over here, man.
We're off and running, man. It's going to be an awesome weekend. And yeah, if you had just kind of like erased the John Jones thing, I love this card. Like it doesn't need John Jones. It's weird to say because one of the best fighters of all time, but I'm like, all right, I don't even care. Like this card is awesome. But man, so I'm ready. Let's get into this. We got a lot of fights to go over. Welcome into everybody. Hit the like button for us, please, if you have not already. First fight of the evening, Denis Bazooka taking on Jamal Emers. Now, as we, do this preview here, obviously we haven't gotten the finals as far as the weigh-ins. The face-off ceremonials will be Friday afternoon. So we'll circle back for the undefeated post-weigh-in show for all of those details later on. But as of right now, Bazooka, big underdog here in this spot. I've seen a couple nibbles on the dog side, but not a lot. Most people, like me, picking the favorite, but a little too scared to lay the chalk. What do you see over there on this first fight of the night?
Yeah, you pretty much got the breakdown for me. So we opened this one up at 320. The line has inched down a bit. We're sitting 260 here. We have gotten some nibbles on Bazooka. So right now the book is sitting in a spot where we need Emers. Same song and dance. Tomorrow it could change with these big favorites. Hopefully we could. Last week there was a lot of dogs, and we ended up having one of our worst weeks last week. So
really,
yeah, we got. It was just not a great day for the book. Somebody came in and bet a massive amount on Dalby last minute,
wow.
and that one really nailed us. But
I thought that would have been a good one for you guys. I'll be honest.
It was until the last minute bet, and it was a pretty big bet. So it is what it is. But yeah, for the most part, we're going to need a couple of these underdogs. So on a card like this, I'm hoping maybe we could get one to start the night, maybe. But
okay. You'd love to see it. All right. Next up, Josh Van takes on Kevin Boras. Couple of UFC newcomers, one from the Contender Series, one short notice, really impressing everybody, pulling it off as a big underdog in his last fight. Would love to hear what you guys are seeing on this one because Van went from being a giant underdog in his debut to now being a solid favorite.
Yeah, so we opened him up at 250. It's currently sitting 220. We did get a decently big wager on the dog here, so it's something that we're keeping our eye on. I still like the favorite personally, but our biggest wager is on the dog in this fight, and currently we need the favorite, so that's where we're sitting here. Not much on the total.
Okay. Good to know on that one. I'm really excited about this next fight, man. I can't wait to hear what you've got to say. Kyung-Ho Kang takes on John Castaneda. It came out a couple days ago. Apparently, this is now a catch weight. One of the weirdest catch weights I've ever seen. In my experience, they're almost always in the round 5 numbers. So I expected this to be a 140 catch weight. It's 138. Somebody somewhere is playing some games. They're making whoever's missing weight cut just a few extra pounds anyway. So very intriguing fight. I've got some action here on the dog side of things, and it looks like the number is kind of headed my way. So can't wait to hear what you've got to say on this one for action.
Yeah, this is a super interesting fight for early on in the card. We opened this one up at 145 on Castaneda. It kind of started shooting up all the way to 175 for us. That was where our peak was. And then the big guy did come in and take the dog on this one. So that was obviously something to keep our eye on. And then that news broke that this was going to be a catchweight fight that next day. So I'm not sure if he had some kind of information on that or whatnot. But then the price started shooting down a little bit, and now we're sitting 25 here on Castaneda. So this thing is really ping pong balled around. But something else to note on this fight, we did get a sharp bet as this thing has been coming down at 135 on Castaneda, but it hasn't seemed to really stop this movement.
Okay. Wow. What an interesting spot here for you people. If anybody missed that, there is sharp action, a buy low on Castaneda, but it all started with the big guy himself rolling in here on Kyung-Ho Kang early on in the week. Interesting fight. Can't wait to see how that one turns out. You got to wonder if somebody somewhere knows maybe that Castaneda isn't 100% coming into this fight. That might have something to do with it. We'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Next up, Jared Gordon takes on Mark Madsen, a fight that I will admit to you, Andrew, I'm not very interested in myself. I like Madsen. He's a guy I try to, kind of get behind when I can, but he's getting up there in age. His last fight wasn't that great of a look. He's no longer at fight ready. Jared Gordon, a guy that I have always, I guess, underestimated a little bit, tried to fade, tried to be on the other side of. And it's a spot where I got to kind of throw my hands up and be like, well, I can't really argue with Jared Gordon being the favorite, but my soul screams to bet against him and go with my guy, Mark Madsen, one more time here. What do you guys have on this fight?
Yeah, this one, it's actually wrote some pretty good action. So we opened this one at 180 on Jared Gordon. It's moved its way up. We did get a very respected bet early on Gordon at minus 180. It's currently sitting minus 210 now. Yeah, there hasn't been too much resistance on Madsen. So as of now, I really wouldn't be shocked if this number kept inching up until we saw some kind of action on Madsen, which I'm kind of surprised Gordon is over a $2 favorite. And we haven't gotten any action. It does seem, like you said, like maybe a spot that could be a dog spot, but Madsen's a hard one for me to get right as well. Both of these guys are kind of tough fighters to predict. So this one doesn't really shock me. I hope we do get some action on the dog here, but haven't seen it as of now.
Yeah, lots of opportunities on this card. I think this is one kind of everybody's looking at and being like, there's better spots on here. One of them I'm very curious up next, actually, that I am interested in and have been staring at all week. Nazim Sadikov taking on Vyacheslav Borchev, Slava Claus himself. And this is a very competitive line here. We've got Nazim Sadikov as a very short favorite. It's been kind of ping-ponging around the market. Got down to like minus 115. He's minus 130, minus 135. Like it's been a little bit of a tug of war here, but you've got Slava Claus as the established underdog. I thought maybe the line would flip, but it just quite has not done that. I was going to try to bet Nazim at plus odds, but it looks like they're not going to give that to me, man. What are you seeing over there?
Yeah, this one has absolutely surprised me, honestly, because we opened this one at 170 on Sadikov. It started working its way down. Like you said, it did get as low as 115, but now it's sitting to 130 for us on Sadikov. I kind of liked Sadikov at 170. I was never going to lay 170, but I was completely wrong. So this is an interesting spot for me where I think I'm going to hop in on Sadikov. But action-wise, it's really been a lot of two-way action. Nothing super respected on either side, but it seems like a popular fight where you're getting action both sides. And like you said, the line's kind of ping-ponging around. So this is a fun fight. And one of the guys in the back, he is all over what do you call him? Sadikov.
Borchev? Slavikov?
Yeah, Borchev. Yeah, Slavikov. So he's all over him. Me and him have been going back at it. And right now it looks like the line is kind of moving his way. So he's kind of let me know about that. But I still think Sadikov's going to get the cash, but we'll see what happens. I'm excited for this fight, really.
I hear you. I hear you. No, I've been watching close, man, because I was hoping to get plus 100 on Nazim, and then I was going to make my move. The fact that it hasn't quite gotten there yet, I'm debating if I want to jump in at minus 130 or if I just want to kind of let this team do its thing and pass and let this one sail on by. We'll see. I still got a day to figure it out. Mateos Rebecky, Roosevelt Roberts, short notice fill in here. Biggest favorite on the card, it looks like. Rebecky's about minus 600 at this point. Man, I didn't even have the opportunity to like break this fight down because it came together late. Word on the street is that Roberts had a real tough weight cut. So like this just feels like a smash. Like they're keeping Rebecky on the card, and can't really argue too much with that without having some other knowledge. And I haven't put the elbow grease into it to get that figured out. So anything on this one?
There's not really much to report here. I'll let you guys know where the line is. We opened it up at $6. It's sitting $6. Obviously, this one hasn't had as much shelf life as some of these other fights. So there hasn't been much movement, obviously. But this one is going to be a leg that is tied into a lot of the parlays, and I've already kind of started to see it a little bit. So that is not that surprising, but I don't really know much about Roberts, but I'm not feeling too hopeful that this is going to be a leg that is going to be the parlay buster, but you never know. Short notice fight, anything can happen. We'll see what happens. Not much to report from us, though.
Okay, fair enough. The next fight is Tabatha Ricci taking on Lupita Godinez. This one is the fight of the week where Twitter has just planted their flag. They are picking their woman they simp for, and they're piling in, man. I can't tell you how many different takes I've seen on this fight. Some people really love this dog. Some people are adamant that the favorite has every single aspect of this game covered. The line dipped down a little bit. You could get loopy right around the minus 140, minus 150 range. I leaned ever so slightly to loopy. It's kind of like the Nazim spot where I was hoping maybe to buy low, and I've kind of chickened out, man. I'm not wearing the Trust Your Balls shirt today for a reason. I have not jumped in here on this fight just yet. Again, another fight where there's a lot of other opportunities on the card, but I kind of leaned to loopy and would love to hear what you've got over there as far as the respected action goes.
Yeah, so interesting enough, from a booking perspective, this has been my favorite fight on the card just because there's been so much opinions on both sides. So we opened this one up at, where am I looking? At 180 on Loopy. It shot all the way down to 115, and now it's sitting at, what are we sitting at here? At 170. So it's almost back to where we opened the thing. Very early on, we did get a respected bet at plus 150 on Richie. And then the big guy came in as well and betted at plus 145. So there was two very respected bets early on Richie. But this thing shot down so quickly. And just like last week with the big guy, that price closed better than – you could get a better price than what he got a week before the fight. So this is an interesting one to me where the price has kind of gone down to almost a pick, and now it's back to where we opened. So there's a ton of action on both sides, but the book certainly has booked to need the dog here.
Wow. Okay. What a crazy situation. Wild, absolutely wild. All right, so we have respected action and the big guy for his second bet of the card here, UFC 295 for anybody keeping tabs on the dog, Ricci in this spot. Yeah, with this line sitting up at about minus 170 and hearing the big guys on Tabatha, may just be a pass for me.
Yeah,
Steve
but
Ursig,
last week it did the same thing, and it ended up losing. It was one of the judges somehow gave him the nod, but I don't think he won that fight, so I don't think I deserve to cash on that one. But it is interesting that like these fights haven't been necessarily closing in the big guy's favor as of lately. It's something to keep my eye on for sure.
Absolutely. Hey, and we call him the big guy because he comes in and he's the number one MMA bettor that places his action over there at Superbook Sports. Doesn't mean anything. He bets is a lock, and we're finding that out right now. He's going through a little bit of a rough patch, so keep your eyes peeled for those results, I guess. Steve Ursig takes on Alessandro Costa up next. I am very happy with this one, man. They opened up Steve Ursig, a little disrespectful in my opinion, way too low. I jumped in early. He's all the way up to almost being a $2 favorite at this point. So I love beating the line by that much. I'm in very comfortably and hoping that there's sharp action on my side, not just a massive public behind me.
This is another one like the Rebecky fight where Ursig got a new opponent, right? So we didn't have as much time with the shelf life on this one. We opened it up at 180. There's been a slight movement in his direction. We're sitting 190. For us, there hasn't really been too much action on this fight. Nothing really respected. Right now, we need the dog. There's been more action on Ursig, but there's nothing to write home about for us over here. It's tougher when, like I said, these fights don't have as much shelf life because I really don't have as much to report for you guys. I personally think Ursig's going to get it done, but I don't classify myself as a sharp bettor at the Superbook. So, yeah, I got nothing really to report from our bettors here.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, some of the other books opened Ursig up as low as -130. So that's
Okay.
where I jumped in and feel really good about the price tag here. So not surprising to hear that he's a little bit less interesting at -190, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
The next fight up, though, Grappler's Delight, baby. Pat Sabatini takes on Diego Lopes in a spot that, man, if you watched like the UFC's on the line betting stuff with Yanni the Greek and all, they are just absolutely hammering Pat Sabatini in this spot. And it's been a tug of war type of situation. Man, when I broke this down and I placed my bet, I said, look, Diego is going to be the public dog in this spot. I know that. Like going in, I understand that him being listed as an underdog means that a lot of people, public eyes, people like myself that have seen his last couple performances, that's going to be the side they come in on. And I nearly passed because I knew it would be the public dog side. And then I said, you know what, though? At the end of the day, my analysis, my read is that he wins the fight. I have to bet it, even though I think it might be the public side. I'm marching in line with everybody else here. We got a competitive line, a competitive fight, and I'm hoping that maybe we can be on the right side and the Sharps can miss one this time around. What do you see over there?
Yeah, so we opened this one up at 140 on Sabatini. It's currently sitting 120. But from a booking perspective, this one is super interesting because we've been getting more action on Sabatini, and we need the dog, but the price has been coming down on the dog. So it's definitely something for me to keep my eye on. When I broke this fight down, I've been a Sabatini backer for quite a while, but this fight I feel like is a tough matchup for him. So I'm kind of with you, and seeing the way how this has been bet and booked, everything is just telling me to lean with Lopes, and I've just been having this feeling all week. So currently the book needs Lopes, and I think that might be a good thing for us.
Okay, I like that read. I like that look. Hopefully that means good news for all of us that are on that side. I agree with you, man. And I mean, I know we're doing more sharp action than preview of the pick and the bet and the fight, but you know, I feel like Pat Sabatini's record is a little meh. You know, he should have lost the Emers fight. Emers' massive fight IQ slip led him to losing that by submission in the first round. TJ Laramie, Tucker Lutz, neither of those guys are with the organization anymore. Lucas Almeida, a debutant, then he got plowed by Damon Jackson. So I think this is a spot where maybe the wrong guy's favored, but yeah, we will find out on Saturday. My main event, the fight that I am most excited about here for non-betting purposes, Matt the Steamroller Frevola takes on Benoit Saint-Denis. And BSD has been my guy, Andrew. I've been pounding the drum on how good this guy is, how underrated he is. He's just an absolute monster in there, and they're giving him somebody in Matt Frevola that's not going to shy away from a gunfight. That's the only reason I have not bet this fight, is because I know these guys are going to car crash until one falls down, and I hate the price tag. I think Benoit Saint-Denis wins this fight, but at -220, that's a tough ask for my wallet. What do you guys see over there as far as the action goes?
No, I'm with you. I've been a BSD supporter for the last few fights, and I could say he's one of my more profitable bettors. So I'm a huge fan of the guy as well. We opened this one up at 210. It's currently sitting 250 here, so that's a little bit more expensive on BSD. To be honest, we haven't gotten a tremendous amount of action on Frevola. So until we do, I wouldn't be shocked if this thing keeps inching up a little bit. But this price does seem pretty steep on BSD at 250. I don't love laying 250 on him, but I would like to see some action on the other side before we kind of start moving this thing back down a little bit. But yeah, nothing overly respected to report here. Just that there hasn't been too much action on the dog, and the price has been inching up. So that's really all I have to report on this one.
Interesting. Okay, good to note. All right. Jessica Andrade takes on Mackenzie Dern up next. Back down to 115, where Jessica finds herself most at home. We've got a striker versus grappler setup here, where both are obviously capable in their opponent's field of victory. It all kind of comes down to, is Jessica Andrade's shot? Is she hanging it up? Is she too distracted? Lots of stuff about the divorces going on out there in the media. This is a weird fight with a lot of narratives, and I can't wait to hear what your action report looks like on this one.
Yeah, this one is another one with like the Richie fight and the Kang fight that I think is pretty interesting from a booking perspective because it's kind of ping-ponged around and there's respected action on both sides. So we opened this one at 190 on Dern. It got as high as 220 and then it shot back down to 180. We did get a respected action on Andrade at plus 170, and then that price, like I said, it came down all the way to 180 on Dern, and then we took a big respected bet on Dern at 180. So right here, we're sitting at a spot where we need the favorite, which I feel happy about right now. Yeah, I think she's going to get it done, and right now, the book needs her. So if we could get to tomorrow needing some of these favorites, that would be a spot where I'd be a lot happier.
Okay, all right. I like it. Yeah, I've been looking towards the Dern side basically all week, but man, I've been the guy that's been trying to fight that narrative on Jessica Andrade for her last 2-3 fights in a row, saying that the back class and the experience, it matters more, and we're getting good numbers on her, and then she just collapses and loses. So now I'm sitting here looking at the other side, and I'm afraid that as soon as I flip, that's when she'll actually show up and win a fight. So I'm a little frozen by my own experience here on this one. That recency bias, it'll kill you. Co-main event. Everybody do me a favor and hit that like button. Give Andrew a follow if you have not over on X. He is from Superbook Sports. He's the head risk manager over there, and he's spending some time sharing the knowledge across the desk with us leading up to this epic fight. So make sure you show him some gratitude. Sergey Spivak takes on Tom Aspinall in a fight that just, man, it feels like whoever lands first. You know what I mean? Neither of these guys have great defense. Sergey Pavlovich has obviously got that nuclear power in both hands. Tom Aspinall with a big grappling advantage if he can get it to the floor. Pick 'em price tag. What do you see over there?
Yeah, man, this is another one. I like this card is a lot of fun, man.
It's wild.
Yeah, it really is. So
we don't ever get pay-per-views with these types of competitive lines, man.
No,
like it's always minus 250, minus 375, and every single breakdown is we got a lot of money in parlays on the favorite. Not this week.
No, yeah, this is one of the more fun ones that I've seen in a while for sure. Especially because, like you said, on the pay-per-view, it's usually, man, there's 10 $5 favorites. It's just frustrating sometimes from the booking perspective. But this is a super fun fight. We opened this one up at 130 on Aspinall. We're currently sitting 115, but I'm not going to lie, this one has ping-ponged around a ton. I do have a very, very respected bet from a customer who is very he picks his spots, and we don't see his action much, but he came in and he bet Pavlovich in this spot, and that is something we had to keep our eye on. As much as I want Aspinall, and I personally think Aspinall is the side for me, booking, I have to respect this guy. His hold percentage is great. So the book is going to need Pavlovich at the end of this thing. And yeah, as much as I don't want him to win and I'm rooting for Aspinall, I know what we need to do from a booking perspective. So, yeah, but there's great two-way action on this one. He came and bet him at plus 110. That's not the price you can get anymore. It's like 20 cents different. It's basically a pick everywhere now. So you probably won't see that plus 110. But yeah, great action on both sides. This one's a super exciting fight.
You love to hear it, man. All right. We need to come up with a nickname for that guy now, because we've got the big guy. If this guy only comes in, once every quarter or something like that, we'll have to come
He
up
hasn't
with
bet with us in like 6 to 7 months. I haven't seen his name, but when he came in, he actually bet the next fight as well. So I'll let you we'll get to that one in a second.
All right. So we've got a you know what? I think we'll call him the sniper. If he comes in that rarely and he has that kind of a hold, he'll be the sniper. We got the big guy, and now officially we got the sniper here. So you guys can differentiate the action coming in here at Superbook Sports. 2 top bettors from their side with MMA. Main event time, everybody. Jiří Prochazka. Yes, I finally stopped saying Chaska like a complete casual over here. That's my bad. Takes on Alex Pereira in your main event here for all the Marbers. I can't talk now. Marbles. 205-pound belt is on the line, in my opinion. Worthy of the actual undisputed title, because Jiří was the previous holder, taking on a former champion in a different weight class. This is a phenomenal fight, man. I myself have a very large position on this one. I've already planted my flag. It's not been a very, very popular spot, but we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you. What are you seeing? You said the sniper might have a position here on this one, and just the general breakdown of Sharp versus Public. I cannot wait to hear it, man. This is a great fight.
Yeah, it is. This is another one that I like the other side of where the Sharp action is. So I'm just feeling like a super square over here. But I'm a big Pereira fan, so it's probably more heart than brain. But we opened this one up at 145, minus 145 on Pereira, which did seem a little bit pricey. It's down to a pick as well in this fight. But early on, we did the sniper came in and bet 125 on Uirig, and then that price has been shooting down pretty much ever since. We have been getting a lot of action on Pereira as well, though, and just yesterday we got another big respected bet on Uirig. So the book is going to be needing Uirig pretty heavily, I would say, because these are pretty respected guys. And yeah, man, this is just such a fun fight that it's a pick'em fight. We're going to get great action on both sides. But like I said, at the end of the day, the book is going to need Uirig, and he's going to be our ride or die.
Let's go. That's the side I am on. It's my max bet. I've only had 6 of them since the inception of my podcast, and I'm going heavy on Uirig to go ahead and get his belt back here on Saturday. So I'm extremely happy to hear that you guys are positioning yourselves to need that side and have not 2 respected bettors, but one of them being the sniper coming in here on the same side as me. That makes me feel excellent. Also, by the way, my normal barometer for how much I love or hate a pick is when I post them publicly and I get lots of compliments on how amazing this pick is. It loses 90% of the time. If I get nothing but seething hatred for the pick, that one's usually a winner. So Jiří has been nothing but people telling me how wrong I am all week. I can't wait for this fight, man. It's going to have big, big implications, and I can't promise my shirt's going to stay on. Andrew, thank you so much for joining me today to break this all down and give all the info to the people. We appreciate the hell out of you, man. If there's any promos or anything you want to shout out, let the people know where they can find you, support you, or if there's anything they could take advantage of.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter if you haven't yet. If you guys have anything, any lines you want me to get up for future fights, I know we've been getting up more and more of those, and you can really get some value on those because those things usually do move a lot, and there's never a set time on when those fights happen. So yeah. Let me know if you guys want any more of those. We're going to get some more of these promotions and odds boosts up for the fights. You guys have been kicking my butt on those lately. So, yeah, I can't wait for this card. 2 pick'em fights for the co-main and the main event. Couldn't ask for a better booking card than this one. Probably the best one of the year for the pay-per-view, in my opinion. And, yeah, let's go Steelers tomorrow or Sunday.
Let's go Steelers, baby. All right. Thank you so much, my man. Everybody else, tune in this afternoon for the Undefeated Post Weigh-In Show as always. And hey, as is required, hit the like button before you exit here on the stream. Have a great day, everybody. Good luck on that degenerate action. And of course, let's roll.